Genesis chapter 4 introduces us to the first family: Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. Life outside the Garden of Eden was not what they expected. God had warned them, but they had to learn the hard way. Sin had entered the world and its consequences were already unfolding. Cain and Abel, the first children born into this world, were about to write a tragic chapter in human history. Their story, though ancient, still speaks to us today. It reminds us of the devastating power of sin, and the importance of choosing faith and obedience over jealousy and anger. The story of Cain and Abel is a stark reminder that sin affects us all. It's a story of choices and consequences, of love and hate, of faith and envy. While we may not face the exact same choices as Cain, we all face temptations. This is where the story of Cain and Abel turns from an ancient tale to a mirror of our own hearts. We might not struggle with literal altars and sacrifices, but we all have offerings we bring before God. Our time, our talents, our resources, our very lives. These are the sacrifices we lay on the altar of our hearts. Cain, a farmer, tilled the ground while Abel, a shepherd, tended flocks. Each brother brought an offering from his work to the Lord. Abel, a shepherd, offered the firstborn of his flock. He chose the best lamb, a sacrifice that pleased God. Cain, on the other hand, offered some of the fruit of the ground. His offering lacked the sincerity of Abel's. It seemed Cain's heart wasn't in it. The Bible tells us that God respected Abel's offering but did not respect Cain's. This detail is crucial. It reveals that God looks beyond the outward appearance of our actions to the attitude of our hearts. God values a heart of worship and surrender more than a perfunctory act of duty. He desires our best, given with a willing heart. The differences between Cain and Abel weren't just in their occupations or offerings, they ran much deeper. At the heart of it, Abel's offering was an act of faith. He trusted God and wanted to honor him with his best. Cain, however, seemed to be going through the motions. His offering lacked a heart of true worship. This difference in their hearts is what ultimately mattered to God. He wasn't interested in the outward form of their offerings as much as the inward condition of their hearts. God saw Cain's heart. He saw the jealousy and resentment brewing within him. In his mercy, God spoke to Cain, trying to steer him away from the path he was heading down. God said, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will not your countenance be lifted up? And if you do not do well, sin crouches at the door, and its desire is for you, but you must master it." But Cain ignored God's warning. He allowed the bitterness to fester, leading to a devastating act of violence. He invited Abel out to the field and, in a fit of rage, killed his own brother. The consequences of Cain's sin were immediate and severe. The ground, which once yielded its fruit to him, now became cursed. Cain was forced to wander the earth as a fugitive, forever marked by his crime. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the destructive power of sin. It shows us how quickly envy and resentment can lead to hatred and violence. The story of Cain and Abel is more than just an ancient history lesson. It's a timeless parable about the choices we make and the consequences that follow. We all face moments when we're tempted to choose the path of jealousy, anger, and selfishness. But God, in His infinite mercy, always offers us a different way. He calls us to choose love over hate, forgiveness over bitterness, and obedience over rebellion. The story of Cain and Abel is a story of choices, just like our lives are stories of choices. Every day we choose what masters we will serve, what altars we will build, and what sacrifices we will offer. Will we choose the path of Cain, a path that leads to destruction and despair? Or will we choose the path of faith, a path that leads to hope and life? The choice is ours.